And welcome back again on Crypto Hulk. Let me see if anybody can hear me. Last time I think I had some volume issues. Had some issues. We all have issues, don't we? But somebody let me know if they can hear me okay. How's the sound? Good sound? No sound? What? Just want to make sure. Let's see if I got this thing plugged in right. Sounds good. Okay. All right then. Wealthy Coder. Let me adjust these things here. We've got a pretty cool show. Now, it's going to be a deep dive on the Ripple Court document. So I don't report on the trial. I report on things that are not, I'm not going to say not fake. I'm going to report on my perspective. We're going to go through the court document that was filed. The SEC filed a complaint, let's say. And what we're going to do today is I sent you a link so you can look at exactly the same court document. I'm going to guide you through 27 pages. It's a 71-page paper. We'll see how today's show goes. I'm going to guide you through the first 27 pages, okay? It's very interesting. I'm going to tell you, there's things on there I had no idea. There's also a lot of secretive people. There's some secretive companies that are mixed up with Ripple. You know, kind of makes you wonder. You're going to find the show fascinating. Sometimes it might seem a little kind of heavy. There's a lot of information, okay? So that's what the show will be on for the open show. We'll go for about 30 minutes. And then, unfortunately, I'll be going to the members only show where we'll continue this. I'll probably do the first 13 pages on the open show and then the other 13 or so on the members only. And we'll do that tomorrow for tomorrow's show. We'll see how it goes today. If everybody really enjoys deep diving in the court document, I'm not going to deep dive on the case. I'm going to deep dive on the complaint. Okay. So I thought it was, I went through it today. I studied it for about, I must have put in 3 hours or so, at least 4 hours on this court document for today's program. So let me see who's here first off. Wealthy Coder, Crypto She-Hulk, Mr. Mister, and a lot of people here. We got a lot of new people and stuff. Okay, I'm going to get right into the article. So you can see the link. If you look at the, go to the top of the top chat, and I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the sixth entry. I did the first 5. Mr. Mister said a comment like, I'll be there. Right after that, Crypto Hulk drops the link to where we're going over today. So I'd highly suggest that you look on you click on that and then follow along as we go so I can make a court document very understandable. I haven't heard any other person on YT do this, and I'm just wondering like why. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. So I'm going to show you the court document. you know, I don't know why people are. I mean, I used to work in court at the state Supreme Court level. So this is kind of like what I used to do at my old job, look over court documents, appear before court, argue cases to the judge. Not a big deal, right? So these are some things that I used to do, and we're going to start right away on it. And we're going to go blazing away. This is like work right here. Now I'm going to blow my court document up a little bigger because my eyesight's bad. So we look on this front page. I got my page's notes here, of course. All righty then. Let me fold this up. Now, I'm doing what I call a critical analysis. And I didn't work at the federal level, so the court paperwork is kind of like the same. The terms are different. You got plaintiff, defendants, depending if you're, this isn't a criminal case at all. Otherwise, you'd have a petition or something. But let's just go with plaintiff, defendant, or whatever. Ripple. I'm going to use all these terms loosely. I'm not a lawyer. Oh yeah, I got to give disclaimer. So, my name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a lawyer at all for today, definitely. Not a crypto advisor. I'm a liar. Straight up a liar. I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. I talk out of my arse the whole time, make everything up. If I tell you to do something, don't do it. Um, this is strictly educational program and not meant to give any kind of advice of any kind. I'm going to read off the court document. I'm going to give you my opinion on what I see. Okay, I don't need a lawyer to explain this shit to you. This shit's too fucking easy. All right, but there's a lot of cool stuff that I learned that I have not heard on any other YT platform. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go over this document. We are going to learn a lot. Now, I would highly suggest you take notes. Okay, so you can grab a notepad and paper right now. For tomorrow's show, I suggest you do the same. Why? Because we're going over a lot of information. And it's best to write it down in notes. And then you can, as you write the notes, you can write line. See, this court document has lines. Line 1, line 2, line. So it makes it easier to find. Yeah, you got pages, page 1, 2, but you also have line numbers. So it's easy to find stuff. So when you make notes, I'm trying to show you, Crypto Hulk is an educational type channel. I don't read off news. I teach you about the world. So there's a difference between people on YouTube that are reporters, like news reporters, like they have their YouTube channels and they're crypto reporters. I'm a crypto teacher. There's a difference, okay? These other people will just rattle off, 15 stories in 15 minutes. And Crypto Hulk, what I do is I teach you exactly what is going on. Total difference in channels. That's why I don't have competition with other channels because they don't do what I do and I don't do what they do. And I like it that way. Okay. So we're going to start off. Now, if you notice, right at the beginning on page 1, if you look to the right, you can see complaint. And under complaint, it says jury trial demanded. Now, I'm not certain on what this is. I thought this was going to be strictly an administrative hearing. From looking at this, I don't know if it looks to me as if the SEC wanted a jury trial because it says jury trial demanded. But then again, it's in a civil division right above that, 20 CIV. So we're not talking about a criminal case here. CIV, now this is federal and this is out of my area of knowledge. So I'm just putting that out there. So if I'm wrong, big deal. Somebody can correct me because I haven't dealt with federal cases. I used to deal at the state level at the Supreme, not federal, civil or criminal or not. So different courts have different whatevers. They're all kind of close to the same. Alrighty then. We're still on page 1. Let me scroll down to my notes. Lines 1 through 9. We're going to skip lines 1 through 9. So now we're on page 3. We're going to skip all the way up to line number 19. So now we passed up page 3. Now we're on page 4 of this court document. We're going to go to line number 19. Okay. I'm going to read off line number 19, and we're going to talk about why this is important. A term nobody on YouTube except Crypto Hulk has made multiple shows on this. I'm the only one. It's called XRP2 LLC. Is Ripple's wholly owned subsidiary. It was founded approximately in 2013 and has been organized as a New York limited liability company, LLC. So it's incorporated privately since 2015 and is the entity through which Ripple offered. Listen, it's the entity which Ripple offered and sold it says most of the XRP. We're going to say all of it, and I'll tell you why. If you go to the 2015 Ripple settlement, excuse me, what happened in that settlement was we found out. Now, this is before this trial right now. That was in 2015, was a settlement. So there's probably a 2013-14 court case. And then in 2015, there was a settlement. See, this whole scam we call the SEC versus Ripple trial, it's a scam. Okay. I've already taught on this before. I've taught on the Ripple SEC settlement case already. Okay. And what it was determined that XRP was money. It wasn't a security. It was deemed money in a federal court. Okay. And then XRP Fund 2 was the one that sold and bought XRP all around the world. And all that Ripple did was the exchange portion. So XRP Fund 2 would go bring money to Ripple or buy or sell XRP around the Ripple would do all the conversion stuff, okay? But the actual buying and selling, we already have known since 2015. Now, there's another channel. I won't mention his name, but he's like, roll the beautiful intro. He's saying, which is wrong, Ripple hasn't bought or sold crypto XRP since 2019. That's wrong. They haven't done it since really 2013. So he's like 6 years late on what he's telling you, okay? In the settlement, Ripple admitted for, 3 months that they bought and sold XRP. So, but that's basically nothing. And that was already dealt with within that 2015 case, done and clear. So technically, Ripple hasn't sold or bought XRP since 2013. So that other person's giving you incorrect information, okay? Now, XRP2 Fund was the name of this company that Ripple. So you got Ripple sold shares, and they have been. You can go to link to them, buy them or whatever. XRP Fund 2, it's the secret company, okay? XRP Fund 2, now it's called XRP2. This is a company that in both court hearings, nobody's mentioned who runs it day to day. It's all secretive. Now, XRP Fund 2 was in the first lawsuit and this one, and we still don't know. Like, think about this. We still don't know who runs it. It's like all a big secret. You'll see in here, they'll start calling people developer number 1, associate number 2. It's like they're trying to keep the people in XRP2 secret. And it's kind of like really secretive about what they do in there. The court, this court report, we're going to find out what XRP Fund 2 actually does. Some of the stuff we're going to learn, but it's all still secretive, okay? Very interesting. How you go through a court trial twice and nobody knows the board of directors, who's running XRP Fund 2. Nobody knows anything, but it's already been through 2 court hearings. Quite interesting. So, it says here, so Ripple has not been buying or selling, according to Crypto Hulk, and of course, more importantly, not that the 2015 settlement tells us. The 2015 Ripple settlement tells us they haven't really sold anything since 2013. Okay, here we are 12, almost 10 years later. Unbelievable. Now, all this information the SEC should they already know. Like I said, this whole court case right now is a scam. So it's saying here XRP2 LLC is, it says here on line 19, is the entity through which Ripple offered and sold most of the XRP in the offering. Well, we already know that Ripple stopped selling XRP in 2013. So this is right here is incorrect information from the SEC on a court document. I just had to correct the SEC. All right. XRP2 is registered as a money service business. That's correct. That was in the 2015 settlement. So that part the SEC is not lying about. They were about XRP2 fund. It says here, XRP Fund 2 is registered with FinCEN and the New York State Department of Financial Services. Okay, next line number 20 to 24. Okay, this next section I thought was very interesting. Lines 20 through 24 of the court document. We're on page 5. I'm going to grab a Ricola to get rid of this dumb shit, whatever it is. All right. On line 20, it says co-founder. So here's what's interesting. Here's what I'm saying. They're keeping these people private. Co-founder, age 45. Now, we know from what we studied who started Ripple. It was Jed McCaleb, Chris Larsen, David Schwartz, and I want to believe Arthur Brito was in there. Evan Schwartz, very possible. These are some people, but they keep all these people's names secret. Now, we could do some digging around. Some of you guys are pretty good at that. I would need time to do this too, but I spent so much time on this court document. Line 20, co-founder, their age is 45. So you'd have to go back and look at who started Ripple and subtract, like 9 years or something from age 45. So that at that time they'd be 34 years old. I think that might be Jed McCaleb. Not sure. He was one of the founders, and 10 years ago, he'd be about 35 or so. Number 21, cryptographer, age 51. That's David Schwartz. Okay. Ripple's chief technology officer. Line 22, Ripple agent number 1, age 55. I don't know who that might be. They received, see, it kind of gives it away. It says this person received 2 billion XRP shortly after Ripple started. I think that's Greg Kidd. That would be my guess. 2 billion, I think that's what Greg Kidd got. Line 23. Ripple agent 2. He's age 42. He's a Florida resident who served as Ripple's head of XRP markets. I don't know that one. Ripple agent 3, age 36, is a California resident who served as Ripple's executive vice president of business from 2013 and its senior vice May 2018. I don't know who that will be. I know one of the youngest ones will be Jed McCaleb. So Jed's going to be either 20 or 24 here. I don't know which. Line 20 or 24. Okay, just thought that was very interesting right there. Line number 26 is where we're going next. Page 5 is where we're at. It's control. Let me look at my notes. It's control persons, not named also. Okay. Line number 26. The Securities Act required that an issuer of securities like Ripple, now here's the problem I have with the SEC and the federal system, the way they write their court documents. They're committing what's called a claim of fact, okay? So if you study logic, like a claim of fact, it's like if I say, the Earth's a circle. Well, I'm claiming that that's a fact, And until we do a study on that, okay, I could say Corona beer is better than Budweiser. That's a fact. So what I did is I claimed that Corona was better than Budweiser. I claimed that as a fact. So what I have a problem with the way the federal court system has their uh, report set up is it's based on claim of fact reporting. So you're assuming. Well, you know what happens when you assume. You make an ass of you and me. So they're making the assumption or they're making a claim of fact that Ripple is XRP is a security. They're calling Ripple an issuer of securities. Well, that's getting into an issue here because you're claiming that it is. They have not proven their case yet. That'll be like, I'm going to call you an orange. So you're an orange until proven otherwise. See, that's not going to work in Crypto Hulk's world. But that's what happens in federal court. They do claim of fact in their reporting, which is very not smart. Well, we know the federal government's not smart. That's a given. So that was just my comment on 26. Um, the Securities Act require that an issuer of securities like Ripple and its control persons and affiliates like Larson and Garlinghouse register offers and sales of those securities, blah, blah, blah. Let me skip. Yeah, that's really what I just kind of wanted to say. Now, this is all written by, this is a complaint. This whole report, 71 pages, I'll call it a complaint. And the SEC is attempting to paint Ripple a certain way so the judge sees it or whatever. So that's who wrote this. So that's why they're saying they call it XRP a security or they're calling Ripple an issue. They're using presumptive language that they have not proven. Okay. That's a fallacy in the world that I'm in, but they're in a whole new other world. We're going to look at line number 28. So, Congress sought to provide the protections afforded by registration, both where securities are sold to the public by the issuer and where they are publicly sold through an intermediary who buys the stock. What they're kind of doing is showing how Congress divvies up who's allowed to sell securities or who's not. Line number 29. And issuers' sales of securities may be exempt from registration provided they are not part of a public offering. So this is where clearly Ripple is an issuer of sales of securities. So they're calling Ripple an issuer sales of securities, but well, actually they say a person may be exempt from registration. So they're saying a person, whoever that might be, may be exempt from having to register with the SEC. But there's certain conditions for that. And they're trying to say that Ripple doesn't have any exemptions. So therefore they are issuing securities. It's just their opinion. This is the SEC's opinion, and that's why this court frustrates myself. Now we're going to go to line 32. The term, okay, so here's where the SEC is wrong again. You see, the SEC has no law. There's no definition. We have no crypto legislation. Nowhere in the United States Code do we have definitions of, listen, line 32, digital asset. There's nothing in the code about that, okay? SEC knows this. Digital token, also in line 32. The United States Code does not have that in there. The United States Code, in fact, does not have any crypto in there, okay? This is what the SEC is lying about, okay? So I'm going to read you what they say. The term digital asset or digital token generally refers to an asset issued and or using a distributor. Okay. First off, the SEC is using two terms on line 32 that do not exist on the United States Code. Okay. So, right off the top, that's bullshit. Okay. Next, the SEC says digital asset or digital token generally refers to, no, we got to go, doesn't refer to or not refer to SEC. We're in a court of law. We have to be very precise. We don't use the term generally refers to. No. So what the SEC is doing is lying. They're lying, and they're using the term digital asset, digital token generally refers to an asset. There's no definition, SEC. So right there, you're straight up lying. Okay. You're saying things that have no logical basis. That's what the SEC is doing, is giving their opinion. We're in a court of law, SEC. We don't give opinions, dumbass. We have to report what's factual, SEC, and what's legal. And right now, line 32 is all bullshit, okay? Now, we go to line 33. Let's say if they can get their shit together in line 33. Oh, no, right off the top, they fucked up again. Line 32. A blockchain or distributed ledger is a peer-to-peer database, ... No, it's not. The SEC is lying again. Why? Because we have no code. We have no definition in the United States Code about what a blockchain is. We have nothing in the United States Code about what a distributed ledger is, SEC. So line 33 is they're making up dumb shit because there's no law regarding this. Next, we're going to line 38. See how I'd be in court? I would tear the fuck out of the SEC for straight up lying like this. How dare you go before a federal court, try to tell the court what a ledger is, and there's no fucking definitions for this shit, SEC. I would say objection, and the judge would be like, on what basis? And I'll be like, I don't know the legal terms, but the SEC is making up this shit because we have. How can, Your Honor, how can the SEC tell us what a blockchain is when it's not even in the definition's not even legally in the United States Code? Your Honor, they're making it up. And the judge would be like, damn. Okay? That's what's up. Let me see here. Lines 38 through 51. Lines 38 through 51. It's very interesting. I'm not going to necessarily get into explaining what it is. If you want to find about the early days of XRP and Ripple and what they were doing, it's very interesting. You have Cryptographer 1. It says around this time, okay, in approximately late 2011 or early 12, co-founder, now they're not mentioning Jeb McCaleb. That's what they're talking about, Jeb McCaleb, all right? But he's listed as co-founder. Why? Because Jeb McCaleb is never, ever going to get in trouble for anything he does because he's the ghost that nobody sees, okay? He started a crypto exchange called Mt. Gox. He sold it, and then like literally like a month later, everybody else goes to jail, and Jeb walks away free and clear. I think Jeb gave himself like, I don't know, 5 or 10 billion XRP. He sells them off, walks away clear, never ends up in any court documents or nothing. I don't know. Just sounds interesting to me. But on line 38, co-founder, and that'll be Jeb, began working on the idea and code for what would become the XRP ledger. Around that time, He recruited Cryptographer One. That's David Schwartz. And Ripple Agent One. I want to say Chris Larson. I could be wrong. Could be Arthur Brito. Gary Fugger was already there. He left. But that's what I'm saying. They keep all this stuff secret. So lines 38, 39, 40, all the way through line 51. Very interesting. Okay. It talks about how they got nodes. It's like a little history of XRP. It's very cool to read through there. It says here, CEO Larson ran Ripple's day-to-day operations. Well, we know that Larson isn't Ripple Agent One. He's called here co-founder Larson. Line number 45. It says here they line 45 had 100 billion. They created 100 billion XRP. Now this is interesting. In line 46, co-founder Larson then in Ripple Agent One transferred 80 billion. So they took 20 billion out for themselves. 80 billion XRP to Ripple, and the remaining 20 they gave to themselves. Okay, in line 46 still. 9 billion each go to co-founder. That'll be Jeb McCaleb and Larson. So, and 2 billion. Okay, Ripple Agent One, 2 billion. It's got to be Greg Kidd. All right. Line 47. As Cryptographer One, a well-respected and known Ripple spokesperson, that's got to be Cryptographer One's David Schwartz. This is interesting in line 49, page 9. Ripple and Chris Larson originally called XRP Ripple Credits. And for years thereafter, they used the name Ripples. Just a little tidbit to know. And that'll be the end of page 9. We go next to line 54. I'm going to check the chat right now. See where we're at. Oh, damn. Okay, hold on. Wait. People have been dropping cookies in the cookie jar here. Let me see what we got. Now, the only one, wait a second. How does that work? The first one, Brody Athey. Thanks for teaching. There's some cool stuff in this program, I'm telling you right away. This was actually fun to study for at least 3 hours today, I'll tell you. Nick Hamilton, back again, drops one. Nick, you're going to learn some cool shit today, guaranteed. I had fun studying this, actually. I went through about 27 pages earlier today of this. Thanks again for the donations, people. All the stuff, a lot of it you have not heard anywhere because people don't want to go over the court documents. They're like afraid or something. But I'll make this super easy for you guys to understand. We got Glenn. Glenn, I would have stayed in college if Crypto Hulk was my professor, and you would have gotten an A in law school if I was as well. All right. Back to the grind. What are we doing? So, 33 minutes. Fuck. And I've only gone. Oh, damn. It's taking a long time, but fuck it. Okay, I'll stay on this free show till 45 minutes. Okay. All right, let me get back. So, line 54. See where my notes go. 38, 54. The lawyers that Ripple consulted with. So Ripple consulted with some lawyers. The SEC says, and the lawyers said that it might be a security or whatever, but might, like, what is might? See, what the SEC is doing is the SEC is trying to show, Your Honor, Ripple saw lawyers and they should have listened to their lawyers because the lawyers said it could be a security. Now, if I was representing Ripple, I would be, Your Honor, might be a security is an opinion and not a fact. Your Honor, this woman might be pregnant. I mean, you either are or you're not, okay? So what the SEC is doing is lying again. Your Honor, the lawyer said might be. So that's not the same as is, okay? So if the lawyer said XRP is a security, then it is, Your Honor. So the SEC's comment will be taken off the record or whatever for that, because that doesn't mean nothing. You can't say might be. I mean, if we mighted everything in life, well, gee, I might get hit by a thunderstorm day, or I might this or might that. Might doesn't do it in court. It has to be yes or no. Okay, that's how the adults do stuff in court, Your Honor. Now, this is very important, line 54, because we all believe XRP is going to be backed by gold, maybe silver, I don't know. We all believe dollars, a basket of currencies, maybe the top G7 currencies will back XRP, right? So in the future, see, here's what I believe. It's very possible. I already made a show on this. Ripple loses the lawsuit in some way, and it was found to be a security. But then how I feel it will be is over time, like maybe over a certain portion of this time, it was considered a security. But also in Bill Hinman's speech, he said something might be a security and then later not be. Line 54, let me show you what I'm talking about. I found something very interesting. Both memos that Ripple got from their lawyers warned XRP that XRP was unlikely to be considered a currency under the Exchange Act because, like traditional currencies, XRP was not backed by a central government and was not legal tender. Well, this is incorrect on two bases. Okay, this is actually incorrect. In the 2015 settlement, XRP was actually considered currency. We can look that up. I can go back again and do the show. So SEC again is lying. Also in 2015 settlement, FinCEN and the judge and the Treasury determined that XRP was electronic money. So on line 54, the SEC is lying. Okay. Now, what I'd add to this is that in the future, this will happen. Everybody knows XRP will be backed by a central government's money, by many governments' money and gold and everything. So this is very interesting in line 54 because it's, I believe, that's what's going to happen. And once they back it, once the government backs it, or the IMF, I said, would back it with basket of currencies and stuff, it'll be tokenized. That's when it becomes an official currency. So this will be awesome. That's kind of a very profound line number is 54. We skip up to line number 59. So now we're going to page 11. Chris Larson, let me read it off, 59. Despite this knowledge from the lawyers and Larson's familiarity with Section 5 from the SEC, listen to this. Here we go. Chris Larson got busted before right now. He did this when he worked for OpenCoin, everybody. OpenCoin is Ripple. Like 2 years, 3 years before. This is amazing, okay? Larson's familiarity with Section 5. The SEC is saying Chris Larson should already know about this because he was busted before. It says with Section 5 of the SEC enforcement action that Larson's previous company, which is OpenCoin, had settled in 2008 with the SEC. So Chris Larson's been doing this before. Chris Larson got busted for the same thing that we're dealing with this current Ripple settlement. Nobody else on YouTube is breaking this down except me. Here we are, 2022. Ripple's in a lawsuit. The SEC says, Your Honor, Chris Larson's doing this again. He got busted, Your Honor, in 2008 when he worked for OpenCoin because he was allegedly selling it as a security as well. Very interesting. It says, had settled in 2008 while Larson was in his CEO, and it didn't say the company's name, but I know that that's OpenCoin because I did a little looking up. Ripple and Larson failed to heed or listen to some of the legal memos, it says in this current case now. It says here, this is a lie from the SEC. We're still on line number 59. Neither Larson and probably Ripple or Brad Garlinghouse contacted the SEC to obtain clarity about the legal status of XRP before engaging in large-scale distributions. That's a lie. Let me tell you. Here we go again. In 2015, they had the Ripple settlement. SEC, listen. Chris Larson, Ripple, and Brad Garlinghouse did not need to go to you to get the legal advice or to check the status, SEC, because in 2015, the court system, along with FinCEN and the Treasury, had already determined that XRP was a digital currency and electronic money, SEC. So you're lying. That's why they shouldn't have had to go to talk to you to clarify. See, I would just tear the SEC up in court, man. I'm telling you. The SEC is so fucking stupid. It's like I could win this case with half my brain tied behind my back. Okay? These SEC lawyers are so fucking stupid. Says here, still on line 59, Ripple and Larson and Garlinghouse offered, sold, and promoted XRP as an investment. Wrong, liar, liar, SEC's liar. Here we go again. In 2015, the settlement already determined XRP was a digital currency and electronic money. It was not considered an investment. Here the SEC is lying again, Your Honor. Bam! See how I get them in court? This shit would be over like in probably like a month if I was running this shit. Line 60. Okay, we're on line 60. What's my comment on that one? They never registered because of the Ripple settlement agreement. Okay. In addition, Ripple, Chris Larson, and Brad Garlinghouse never filed a registration statement with the SEC prior to offering or selling XRP. Yes, SEC. You know why they didn't register with you, SEC, in line 60? Because here we go, in the 2015 settlement, the federal judge, FinCEN, and the Treasury all determined that SEC was a digital currency and electronic money, SEC. That's why they don't need to fucking register with you, asshole. Oh, God, Your Honor, I motion to have the SEC stop at continued comments or questions about registering. This is just going around and round and round. This has already been determined already. Your Honor, this is a waste of the court's time, and it's game playing and stalling from the SEC, Your Honor. Ripple paid, in line 61, Ripple paid others in XRP because it's a currency. So in line 61, the SEC is trying to claim that, Ripple's paying off people with XRP. You know what I would say? Yes, because in the settlement of 2015, it's considered digital currency, which is money. So guess what? When Ripple has to pay somebody, they pay them in money. And what is that? XRP SEC. Whoo-wee, I'm killing them on every single line the SEC tries to do something. SEC, step your game up, please, because you're like a crack addict, all right? Repeating the same dumb shit, making no sense. Let's go to line 73. So now we're going to page 12. Well, now we're going to page 13. Line number 73. Oh, 13. We're almost halfway done. Once we get done with page 13, I'm going to switch over to the members only, because that'll be halfway. I did 27 pages of research. 13 would be midpoint. So, line 73. How Ripple spread liquidity. The SEC looks at it differently. Okay. Here's what the SEC claims. This is line 73. Larson orchestrated. Can you hear? You like that word, orchestrated? How dramatic. The SEC is trying to make him look like he orchestrated all this stuff. He's a mastermind. Oh, God. Drama. Larson orchestrated the initial stage of Ripple's offering of XRP by approving the timing. Here's what the SEC is saying. Chris Larson did. He timed the amount and offers of sales. And you know what? I say congratulations, Your Honor. What Mr. Larson did was demonstrate he's a good custodian of the Ripple XRP. He's trying to have a controlled release, Your Honor, because it's a currency and he didn't want to flood the market or restrict it. Your Honor, Chris Larson is a good steward of the XRP ledger, the currency XRP, because he's making sure all the game XRP, Your Honor, is supposed to be used for money, because it is. It's a currency. That's what we found out in the 2015 settlement. So the SEC should be proud of Chris Larson for timing and the amount of sales of XRP. They used market sales. We're still on line 73. Market sales. There was investment funds, wealthy individuals. There was institutional sales, Your Honor. There was other XRP There was different, Your Honor. In line 73, it shows the many, many ways that Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse, and Ripple attempted to distribute, honestly and correctly, the XRP ripples, as they called it in the early days, Your Honor, they distributed them in a manner that would be prudent of someone that cares about the ecosystem of XRP. And that will conclude the first lecture here. We're going to go to page 14, line 78. I got mine set at page 14, line number 78. Overview of Ripple's XRP distribution. We're going to pause there for a minute. I'm going to go to the original. So now I'm on the YouTube channel. I can see all the top chat stuff. And somebody seditious. What's the word, Maine? Love to see packed shows. The word is, I'm tearing apart as if I was a lawyer explaining this case to the judge or whatever. I'm going over the SEC complaint that they filed against Ripple, and I'm going line by line, shredding the SEC. That's the word. All right. We're going to end this particular program here. I'm going over to the members only to complete the other half of this. I'll see you all there. See you tomorrow. We're going to do the same thing. We'll probably be at pages 28 to, 60.